Beneath the stillness of a shallow reef, the world is not as quiet as it seems. Shadows ripple between branching coral, where sunlight fractures into restless shards. Then, an explosion. No fire, no smoke, no visible projectile, yet the water convulses with a concussive force that stuns anything within its reach. Fish dart away in frantic bursts. A tiny shape drifts forward from the shadow, claws poised like a trigger, as if nothing extraordinary just happened. But for any living thing caught in that invisible blast, the moment is over before it begins. The source of this phenomenon is no machine, no human weapon, but a small marine hunter whose presence is almost imperceptible until the ocean itself becomes its gun. It belongs to a group of crustaceans, often overlooked in the hierarchy of predators. Measuring just a few centimeters in length, its body is unremarkable, translucent, mottled, adapted to vanish against coral rubble. But one claw is grotesquely oversized, a warped asymmetry that betrays its true purpose. This is the pistol shrimp, also known as the snapping shrimp. And that claw is more than a tool. It is a high-speed striker, capable of generating a pistol shrimp cavitation bubble, an underwater shockwave born of physics as much as biology. With a single snap, the claw creates a water bullet that collapses with such ferocity that it produces light, sound, and heat rivaling the surface of the sun. For scientists, it is one of nature's rare demonstrations of cavitation, the formation and violent collapse of a vapor bubble, a phenomenon studied in physics laboratories, yet perfected here in the body of an animal. Evolutionary time has refined this adaptation into a weapon of startling efficiency. The claw's jointed segments are reinforced, its muscles tuned for explosive release. When the shrimp senses prey, often small fish or other crustaceans, it cocks the claw open, storing energy like a compressed spring. When it slams shut, the action forces a jet of water through a narrow groove, creating a low-pressure zone that instantly boils the surrounding water into vapor. This is the cavitation bubble, and its collapse unleashes a shock wave strong enough to stun or kill. Marine biology fans have long marveled at the hunting sequences captured in high-speed underwater footage, where the event plays out in microseconds, far too fast for the human eye. And yet, for all we know about the mechanics, one question still lingers. How did a crustacean evolve to weaponize sound and heat through bubble collapse? The process seems improbable. It requires anatomical precision, muscle control beyond the norm for invertebrates, and an instinctive understanding of timing. The pistol shrimp's hunting grounds are chaotic. Currents shift, light refracts unpredictably, and prey moves in erratic bursts. Yet this animal has adapted not only to overcome those challenges, but to use them, striking in ways that seem impossibly consistent. Even among snapping shrimp species, the efficiency of certain individuals raises questions. Are we witnessing convergent perfection, evolution arriving at the same solution repeatedly? Or is this ability a fragile specialization on the edge of survival? The paradox deepens when we consider the scale of its power. The shockwave it produces is lethal to prey several times its size, but it is also potentially dangerous to the shrimp itself. In laboratory settings, researchers have recorded snapping events where the bubble's collapse momentarily produces temperatures exceeding 4,700 degrees. Yet the shrimp's own tissues survive repeated use of the weapon. Its exoskeleton, particularly around the claw, shows microscopic patterns that may act as shock absorbers, dissipating the destructive force before it can cause self-damage. Still, no one has fully mapped the molecular structure that allows for such resilience, leaving open a core mystery. Is this biological armor the result of slow, incremental changes, or a sudden evolutionary leap? Several hypotheses compete to explain how this adaptation arose. One suggests that the pistol shrimp's ancestors evolved enlarged claws primarily for intimidation, producing loud snaps to ward off rivals or predators, and only later gained the structural refinements necessary to create cavitation. Over time, those with more forceful snaps could incapacitate small prey, transforming a defensive signal into an offensive weapon. Another theory looks to the complex social lives of snapping shrimp. Many species live in colonies within sponges or burrows, where acoustic communication is constant. In such environments, a powerful snap may have evolved as both a hunting tool and a means of claiming territory in a crowded reef, shaping the claw's evolution through both survival and competition. A third possibility, still debated, is that environmental pressures such as increased turbidity or changes in prey abundance favored hunters who could kill without direct contact, allowing a cavitation strike to function as a precise, energy-efficient solution in waters where visibility is poor. In each case, the central enigma remains. Why has this form of hunting not been widely adopted by other crustaceans? Cavitation is not unique to the pistol shrimp. Certain fish and even boat propellers produce it. But only here has evolution harnessed it deliberately, repeatedly, and with deadly accuracy. For physics enthusiasts, the pistol shrimp is a living demonstration of principles that engineers struggle to control. For marine biologists, it is a case study in how anatomy and physics can merge into a single evolutionary pathway, creating a predator whose size belies its influence on the reef ecosystem. Even with high-speed cameras and thermal imaging, much about this animal's capabilities remains unseen. In the instant of the strike, the bubble's collapse produces a flash of light, sonoluminescence, that may serve no purpose at all, or perhaps one we have yet to recognize. Some speculate it could play a role in disorienting prey or communicating to rivals, an untraceable signal embedded in the chaos of the strike. Others suggest that the heat and pressure could have subtle effects on the surrounding water chemistry, altering the microhabitats where the shrimp hunts. These ideas remain untested, fragments of a puzzle that stretches from the biology of a claw to the physics of collapsing water vapor. In the end, what draws us back to this tiny hunter is not just the violence of its method, but the improbability of its existence. A small crustacean, armed not with teeth or venom, but with the ability to weaponize the very medium it lives in. It fires a bullet made of water and heat, a weapon invisible yet undeniable. And somewhere in the coral's shadow, it cocks its claw again, ready to pull the trigger on another underwater thunderclap. The pistol shrimp has mastered a science that predates us, a fusion of evolution and physics that still leaves us asking, how much of nature's power is hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to notice?